1. During a gastrointestinal assessment, which action best demonstrates the principle of adult learning when teaching a patient about dietary fiber intake? A. Providing a lecture about fiber benefits. B. Giving the patient a handout to read at home. C. Asking the patient to recall foods high in fiber from their diet. D. Showing a video about digestive health. 2. When evaluating a patient's understanding of a new medication for acid reflux, which method best aligns with adult learning evaluation principles? A. Asking the patient to explain how and when to take the medication. B. Giving a multiple choice quiz. C. Providing additional pamphlets. D. Asking if they have questions. 3. In developing a curriculum for nurses on gastrointestinal assessment, what is the most important first step? A. Selecting instructional materials. B. Conducting a needs assessment. C. Scheduling training sessions. D. Developing test questions. 4. Which communication technique is most effective when explaining bowel preparation instructions to an adult patient? A. Using medical terminology. B. Providing step-by-step verbal instructions and checking for understanding. C. Speaking quickly to save time. D. Giving all information at once. 5. When conducting a gastrointestinal history, what type of question encourages the most detailed response from the patient? A. Are you having stomach pain? B. Tell me more about your eating habits and any recent changes. C. Do you have diarrhea? D. Is your appetite normal? 6. A nurse mentor observes a new nurse performing an abdominal palpation incorrectly. The best mentoring response would be A. Correct the mistake publicly. B. Document the error immediately. C. Provide private feedback with demonstration. D. Ignore it since the nurse is new. 7. When developing a test for gastrointestinal system knowledge, which practice ensures fairness and compliance? A. Using random questions from any topic. B. Aligning each question with learning objectives. C. Making the questions intentionally difficult. D. Allowing unlimited time for completion. 8. During auscultation of bowel sounds, what should be documented if no sounds are heard after 5 minutes? Normal findings. Absent bowel sounds. Hypoactive sounds. Hyperactive sounds. 9. Which of the following best represents regulatory compliance during gastrointestinal assessment training? A. Ignoring competency documentation. B. Following institutional and state competency standards. Using unapproved materials. D. Allowing unsupervised procedures. 10. What is the most accurate reason to include case studies in a gastrointestinal training program? A. To fill time in the curriculum. B. To assess memorization skills. C. To promote application of knowledge to real-life scenarios. D. To provide entertainment. 11. Which of the following steps should be done first in a gastrointestinal physical examination? Palpation, auscultation, inspection, D. Percussion. 12. When teaching an adult patient about managing constipation, which approach is most effective? Reading a list of laxatives aloud. B. Involving the patient in setting realistic goals. C. Giving a generic care plan. D. Repeating instructions quickly. 13. Which action ensures the reliability of a gastrointestinal assessment test? A. Changing question wording each time. B. Using consistent, validated test items. C. Allowing different graders to modify scores. D. Omitting answer keys. 14. What is the best feedback strategy after observing a learner perform a gastrointestinal assessment correctly? A. Provide immediate, specific praise. B. Delay feedback until evaluation day. C. Offer only written comments. D. Avoid feedback to build independence. 15. Which curriculum development step ensures measurable outcomes for gastrointestinal nursing education? A. Writing clear learning objectives. B. Scheduling lectures. C. Printing certificates. D. Creating attendance sheets. 16. What is the most accurate reason to perform percussion during abdominal assessment? A. To check skin elasticity. B. To detect underlying organ density or fluid. C. To measure pulse rate. D. To assess bowel motility directly. 17. A patient states, "I have pain after eating." What should be the nurse's next question? A. Do you eat fast food? B. Can you describe the location and intensity of the pain? C. Do you like spicy foods? D. Are you allergic to anything? 18. Which approach aligns with ethical and regulatory standards in test administration? A. Giving test answers to learners beforehand. B. Keeping test items confidential and secure. C. Letting learners discuss test content. D. Skipping identity verification. 19. What technique helps evaluate psychomotor skill competency in gastrointestinal assessment? A. Written exam. B. Performance checklist observation. C. Group discussion. Self-evaluation form. 20. A nurse educator develops a gastrointestinal test with easy, medium, and difficult questions. What concept does this represent? A. Content validity. B. Item discrimination. C. Test reliability. Grading leniency. 21. Which finding during inspection requires immediate follow-up? Flat abdomen. B. Visible pulsations near the umbilicus. C. Soft and round contour. Faint scars. 22. What best demonstrates effective communication when a patient refuses a rectal examination? A. Proceed without consent. B. Respect the decision and explain implications. C. Argue with the patient. D. Document refusal and move on silently. 23. Which is most important when mentoring a nurse on documentation during gastrointestinal assessment? A. Using subjective terms. B. Recording findings objectively and accurately. C. Skipping normal findings. D. Writing opinions about the patient. A patient education program on peptic ulcer management should primarily focus on A. Complicated pathophysiology. B. Practical lifestyle and medication adherence. C. Historical case studies. D. Hospital policies. 25. What is the rationale for auscultating the abdomen before palpation? A. To detect tenderness early. B. To prevent altering bowel sounds. C. To improve inspection accuracy. To assess fluid first. 26. Which learning method best supports adult learners in gastrointestinal nursing workshops? A. Passive listening. B. Hands-on demonstrations and simulations. C. Long theoretical lectures. D. Silent reading sessions. 27. What is the most appropriate documentation for normal bowel sounds? A. No bowel sounds heard. B. Bowel sounds active in all quadrants. C. Hyperactive bowel sounds noted. D. Absent bowel tones. 28. In developing test questions for gastrointestinal assessment, what ensures content validity? A. Covering all key learning objectives. B. Using only easy questions. Writing long explanations. D. Limiting to a single topic. 29. When evaluating learning effectiveness in GI training, which method provides the most accurate results? Verbal self-report. B. Observation of performance and outcomes. C. Attendance record. D. Group survey. 30. Which of the following represents a measurable learning objective? A. Learners will know abdominal anatomy. B. Learners will correctly identify 4 abdominal quadrants. C. Learners will appreciate digestive health. D. Learners will understand digestion. 31. What is the correct sequence of abdominal assessment techniques? A. Inspection, palpation, percussion, auscultation. B. Inspection, auscultation, percussion, palpation. C. Palpation, inspection, percussion, auscultation. D. Percussion, inspection, auscultation, palpation. 32. A nurse educator reviews GI test results and finds low scores on nutrition questions. The best next step is to A. Remove those questions. B. Review and reinforce that content in class. C. Ignore results. D. Shorten the test. 33. Which communication strategy reduces anxiety before a GI procedure? A. Giving minimal information. B. Providing clear explanations and allowing questions. C. Using complex terminology. D. Avoiding discussion. 34. What is the best evaluation tool to measure effective learning outcomes in GI education? A. Attitude survey. Written quiz. C. Return demonstration. D. Observation checklist. 35. Which of the following best represents compliance with patient confidentiality during assessments? A. Sharing findings in a staff meeting. B. Discussing results privately with authorized personnel only. C. Posting results on a public board. D. Taking photos without consent. 36. A new nurse forgets to document bowel sound findings. As a mentor, your best response is to scold the nurse publicly. B. Remind and review proper documentation steps. C. Report to management immediately. D. Ignore it once. 37. Which of the following findings is considered abnormal during abdominal palpation? A. Soft, non-tender abdomen. B. Tenderness and rigid surface. Smooth contour. Normal muscle tone.